Guyanese, hey, what make we so stupid? I wonder. Guyanese like myself, yes. Why we so foolish? And I want to tell you. Imagine we put the leaders there in the government and done we back from them like we don't care how taxpayers' money spent. With all the corruption that taking place, we is the ones we blame. While them are thief. We just sit down like if we lame. But this God don't sleep. No, he don't sleep. By the time I done sing make I so, I know you're gonna agree with me that he don't sleep. Jehovah not sleep. One day the same bad seed that them sow, it's that they're gonna reap. Under this party, politicians thieving at will. Under this party, them not care, they're doing it still. Under this party, all the big contracts are go to them friend. Under this party, them forgetting the longest rope of an end. But if we the people can come together and stand up for what is right, put aside we indifference and start unite. Politicians would know them damn place and work with honesty. Then boom, Guyana would rise and have a vibrant economy. Ding dang diddy diddy do dang dunga day. Whoa, dee da dee da ding ding diddy diddy do dang diddy do dang dunga day. Whoa, dee da 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 do. Guyanese, open your eyes, yes. Guyanese like myself, hey, it's time we get wise. Imagine we finance minister, auditor is the wife, it's like hey. Hey, Guyanese, hey, what make we so stupid? I wonder. Guyanese like myself, yes. Why we so foolish? And I want to tell you. Imagine we put the leaders there in the government and done we back from them like we don't care how taxpayers' money spent. With all the corruption that taking place, we is the ones we blame. While them are thief. We just sit down like if we lame. But this God don't sleep. No, he don't sleep. By the time I done sing make I so, I know you're gonna agree with me that he don't sleep. Jehovah not sleep. One day the same bad seed that them sow, it's that they're gonna reap. Under this party, politicians thieving at will. Under this party, them not care, they're doing it still. Under this party, all the big contracts are go to them friend. Under this party, them forgetting the longest rope of an end. But if we the people can come together and stand up for what is right, put aside we indifference and start unite.
This is Attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
All right. Hey, guess what? Good evening to all of you. It's Saturday, right? And for some of you thinking it's Saturday Night Live, it's not. We are live actually, but we just decided since we had a couple days off to work on Saturday. We may not work tomorrow if I find a lemon to actually do the technical stuff, then I can possibly be on. But let me first acknowledge all of you. Every single one of you. This caught my attention from Shelley Douglas Williams, and the manner in which she's asking to share the live, right? I'm a very polite and very nice, very soft spoken kind of guy, right? I'm no longer, uh, 10, 15 years ago, you would have gotten, the I'll be ringing the bell in your heads and all over, right? But I am a little older now and a bit sober down and more experienced in a sense that I looked at the mistakes that were made and strategies that were used that may not have been, the right strategies to be used and so forth. And we go through that political maturity. Lots of political leaders have done so, and real political scientists have done so. Scientists have done so as well, and me as an activist, a real activist on the ground, mind you, you know exactly how to do it. I was speaking with a good friend of mine earlier, and she did say that Mark, we need the old you back. So I don't know what you mean by the old me, right? Brenda, how are you doing? I haven't heard that word bugging. You bugging about being soft. No, I'm not bugging about being soft at all. But there come time in people's life they got to sober down a little, watch it. And sometimes you watch the new players on the block do their thing, right? Some of the new players are going to be very cautious. Some are going to be wild and, throw out tantrums and emotions and all the. So you tend to sit back as an experienced jockey, an experienced activist, not an activist that pushes out his head and beg for people to recognize. Good evening to all of you. I'm being naughty, right? I always like to be naughty sometimes, politically speaking. But good evening to all of you, every single one of you. And I thank you much for sharing the link. I know I came on as a surprise. Some folks have inboxed me and say, look, we need you on. Why weren't you on last evening? And I'm like, I have a life too, I'm not an elected official. I do what I do because I'm passionate about doing what I do. I'm passionate about standing up and representing people. I'm passionate about these things, and I don't do it because I want somebody to like me, or I want somebody to write about me, or I want somebody to mention my name. I do it because it is something that I've been doing for years now. So this for me is not a popularity contest and who did this and who did more than who. Those sort of things get their people, and only certain caliber of people low down in the bar would want to make this sort of what is it, equation, who do more and who do this and who do that. I mean, sometimes that sort of gaffe, we wouldn't even find it around the cathedral. And I know some of the folks them around the cathedral. I have some, despite of their lifestyle, I got to respect and appreciate people. And I have more respect for individuals like that, like those individuals who are out there plying their nightly trade, right? But to have people who pomposette or parade themselves as political wannabes, mind you, to enter into discussion about who do more than who and who do this and who. Oh gosh, sometimes the emotions, and when men have that sort of emotions, sometimes you have to wonder Right. Good evening to all of you. Hey, what can we talk about tonight? And so, Brenda, thank you for bugging out. This reminds me back in the days. Hey, you be bugging, right? Bugging, Bugging. Good evening to you, Aliyah Waldron. Good evening to all of you. Desiree Narayan, I haven't seen you in donkey years. Donkey years, I haven't seen you. Hope all is well with you and your beautiful daughters, your grandchildren, and your brother as well. This is a good question. Yvonne McPherson is asking, where is Tom? Tom is going to be back, don't worry. Tom has messaged me. Tom is on some assignments, some very important assignments. And we have been clashing in terms of our schedule. So Tom is still around. He's with us. He's not going anywhere. Tom and I have been, we have been friends for over 15 plus years. And, I know what Tom does, and what he does is always in the best interest of humans. And he has always had this keen interest about what's happening in Guyana, right? Especially the corruption and the drug lords and the money launderers and all these different things. So he knows about them. He knows them all inside out. And the fact that he's not Guyanese and he has such serious and keen interest in what's happening in Guyana. And you notice, people who oftentimes they're on the radars of law enforcement agencies outside of Guyana. And when they are on the radars of law enforcement agencies outside of Guyana, they become what is it? Comfortable, because they want to know what these law enforcement agencies know about them, right? So guess what? And so they write to the police force and they beg the police force, please investigate what I do. The Guyana police force, it doesn't matter what the Guyana police force investigated, some people who are allegedly part of drug dealing, part of money laundering rings, and all these manner of things. So the Jim Cockring Ramgoats could write to the Guyana police force. They could do all manner of things. It is not what the Guyana police force think of you. Whoever allegations are leveled against in terms of money laundering and drugs and all these different things is the outside law enforcement agencies that matter. Because people in Guyana, as you all know, they can pay these folks in the police force to give them a good report. And once you can pay them and they come out and say, oh, we have investigated X, Y, or Z person, and nothing came up. They're legit and all these man. Some people think people foolish. Some people think people foolish and could threaten people about cybercrime and bullying and all these sort of things. Good evening to all of you again. What else is happening? Mind you, I'm just going to be on with you guys for 1 hour, right? 1 hour I'm going to be on with you. I'd like to see some of your comments about what's happening with you guys. I want to see that. I want to see that as well. So Hazel Austin, a trooper, a real trooper on the ground. Hazel Austin. Good evening to you, Hazel. Good evening. A real trooper, a friend of mine, a real friend on the ground in the struggle. She's been there in the streets, protesting, standing up for people's rights. And it's people like Hazel Austin, true people on the ground. And these people, like Hazel and these folks, they don't throw tantrums and all these different things, and they don't get emotional. And I can't blame Hazel if she does. She is a fighter, a true fighter. And these are the people that I respect and I support 100%. Good evening to you, Hazel, and good evening to members of your family. I'm seeing there's a Chin Rhonda. Mark, please be full screen, please, and thanks. Oh, you want me to be full screen? Full screen. In other words, you're not here to just listen to what I have to say, right, Chin Rhonda? You're here to see me. You want to see me close up, right? All right. I don't have a problem with you seeing me close up at all. You want to see me close up? Here I am. You can see me. See all of me that you want to see. Close up. Here I am. Good evening to you again. Chin Rhonda, how are you doing? All right, it's Saturday. It's 14 minutes after 9 o'clock. Good evening to all of you guys. Let me see what else is happening, what we can talk about. And we have Deborah. Deborah wants to see. Deborah's saying, "Oh, full. Yes, here I am. How are you guys doing?" I know most of you probably just here to see me full screen, and so I can't blame you all, huh? Anthony Brown, how are you doing? And mind you, this is not a Best Buy request show that I just say good evening to you guys, good evening to you guys, right? I have a show, I have things I want to talk about, but as they say, we're just warming up. Lachman Aziz, assalamu alaikum to you, my friend. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. I know that you have been going through a lot recently. You have lost your son. I didn't call you. I think I attempted to call you. If I didn't get on to you, my apologies. But again, let me take this time out to extend sincerest condolences to you and your entire family in the passing of your son. It's not easy to lose a child, right? I'm speaking from experience, and so I know how you're feeling. I know how you are feeling. And so I just, again, want to offer my sincerest condolences to you and family. Lachman Aziz. Stay strong, my sister. And assalamu alaikum. All right. What else we can see? I'm looking at some of your comments. Savitri Rose, how are you doing? Brenda Supnanand Wilson, Julian Bowen, how are you? And all the people who are watching this program this evening. What else is it that's out there that you guys want us to discuss? Tell me, and I will talk about it. I'm here because I want to talk to you. I want us to talk to each other. I want us to talk to each other. I've noticed there's a Francine Cruz. It's got to be some jealous individual. You guys are asking for us to first talk. He wants me to barge into the house and start gaffing just like that without warming things up. Let me see what Francine Cruz is saying. Good evening to you, Francine. If this is the Francine Cruz that I know, right? If this is the Francine Cruz that I know from Bartica, good evening to you, Francine. A beautiful woman indeed. Too much talking. Get to the point. We don't have time for long-windedness. I'm not going to respond to Francine. I'm not going to respond, but I'm glad that Francine, she has taken time out to be on with us this evening. Good evening to you, Francine, and your beautiful family. All of them, all of your family members, your nephew, and all of them. Good evening. I'm going to leave Francine alone. Francine is baiting me. I'm not going to fall for that bait at all. But Francine does have a point. People don't want the long-winded talking and these, I don't know, Francine and these people just want to get straight to the point. Let's see here. Diane Ramnarain is saying, good night, sir. Would like to say thanks to MP Dineshwar of Port Moran for helping me with my school transcript. I know people keep saying AP and UFC not doing anything, but he helped when the Ministry of Education refused. MOE, Ministry of Education, right? Diane Ramnarain, congratulations. You've gotten your transcripts, and I believe your transcript, and I believe that it is well deserved. Whatever you are going to be doing, we wish you all the best. All right, and congratulations to Mr. Member of Parliament, Dineshwar Jaiprashad. Dineshwar Jaiprashad, he has a program right here every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. And I want to say that unlike all the other folks that we have given time here on 107.1 FM to do their own show, I'm talking about members of Parliament. Dinesh Jaiprashad, the Honorable Member of Parliament, has been consistent. He didn't drop out. He didn't drop off the air or anything. He has been consistent. He will be back with you guys on Tuesday. Congratulations to the Honorable MP for doing a great job there for Diane Ramnarain and family. And Miss Ramnarain, we wish you all the best. All right, so what else is happening? I'm looking at your comments. I'm not bothered, again, I'm not bothered with what with what Francine is saying, that stop all the going around, and just get straight to the point. Aaliyah Waldron, thanks for putting Francine in her place. Francine Cruz, you are very impatient, very impatient, very impatient. It's Saturday night, and it's what I call Vox Populi, right? The voice of the people. I want to see some of the things. I want to read some of the things that you guys want us to talk together. We're having a a Saturday night glass of wine together, right? A Saturday night glass of wine together. Forget about Francine. She's jealous, right? Okay, so the AFC, they had their elections today, right? They had their elections today. But before we get to that, here's what my friend Hazel Austin is saying. Hey, Mark, I am so fed up with this place. Only God knows. I understand how you feel, Hazel, because I know you went through it all in the political struggle. Sometimes I know how you feel. Sometimes I know you feel like giving up, but you don't give up. And that's the strength in you. That's the strength in you. I know that strength. I know that courage you have. Don't be like some people and give up after a couple months and start crying, throw tantrums and all manner of things and become very emotional. One minute they like somebody, next minute they want to rip that person apart, and they don't care how they do it. They claim that they do it in the name of honesty and this and crap. BS. Don't be like those individuals, right, Hazel? Continue to be strong. Continue to be how you are. And God will continue to bless you for what you do. You're a good person. I know that. You've been there for me during my struggles. You have been there. You have put your life on the line for me, just as I have put my life on the line for all of you guys as well. Every single one of you. And this is not a measuring tape who did more than who. Because for those who know pomposetting to want to put me in a category of another individual, that individual did more than me, that individual can't come close. Trust me. GT Rugal, how are you? All right, so what we want to talk about here tonight, I don't want to get some of you a little upset or impatient like Cruz. Somebody said here, the AFC re-elected Kemraj Ramjatan. God knows. Did you expect any better? Did you expect that they were going to elect somebody else as leader of the party? Ramjatan will forever be leader of the AFC as long as the AFC exists. Story done. As long as the AFC exists, that's it. Ramjatan ain't going nowhere. Here is why Ramjatan is not going anywhere. They are of the view, the financial folks, the backers of the AFC are of the view that they need somebody like Ramjatan up there before they dole out their money. And if you don't have somebody like a Ramjatan there, if you put, let's say, David Patterson, those financial backers to the AFC are not going to give any money. They're not. And so Ramjatan is their guy. And they want to ensure that Ramjatan is there at the helm. They got, I think Cathy Hughes was elected as chairwoman, Sherrod Duncan as general secretary, and Ram Sarup, I believe the youngster's name is. He is the deputy chair or something like that. What is that? What is that for the nation? What good does that do for the nation? And now, look, I know all of the individuals. I want to wish them the best, and I congratulate them, yeah. But I want to say this to them, that politics is not jumping on Facebook. Politics is not jumping on social media, right? On Facebook and pomposetting and giving the impression that that's it. That's what it's about. That is what it's about. Representation of the people is not about coming on Facebook, turning on some sort of your computer, right? Turning on your computer and talking and talking and talking. That is not the sort of representation people are looking for. Unfortunately, that's the sort of representation people have been getting from the AFC over the past couple of years. The AFC is not living up to what it ought to be, which is a third force. And I've heard Ramjatan this evening talk, or maybe it is Cathy Hughes who said that the AFC is the only legitimate, so to speak, third force in Guyana, political third force. That might have been the case in 2006, 2011, and so forth. In 2006, I believe they got somewhere in the vicinity of maybe 6 seats. They were robbed of a seat. You guys know the whole story. I keep reminding you of that Sam Hines robbed, PPP that is, robbed the AFC a seat from Region 10, robbed them, pickpocketed them, stole a seat, rigged the seat from the AFC. So the AFC started off doing well for a new party. 2006, they got, like I've said, about 6 or 7 of the seats. Then in 2011, that dropped. And then leading up to the 2015 elections, people were becoming disgusted. They were becoming just, fed up of the AFC and their politics. And so the seats that they got in 2006, it reduced in 2011. And in 2015, I can almost be certain, I will put this on the line, that the AFC would not have gotten more than 2 or even 3 or even 1 seat in 2015. But they got lucky. They got 40% of the entire deal for the coalition. And look what happened to that 40%. Look what they did with that 40%. They got a set of snakes within the AFC. One of them became so infamous. Infamous. You know that one snake that became infamous, sat with them, eat with them, talk with them, gyrate together. Whenever they get nara, they gyrate, they cry, all manner of things together. They chat, matihan, and all sorts of things. As Kemraj like to talk, the quarantine talk and things. We can talk that too, Kemraj. You bring that snake on, and you sit down on pira and eat. And when I done yam, he sane with the fingers and thing, and he start chatty. Right, Ramjatan? We can talk the talk. He chatty with you guys. Tell you guys how much he loved y'all. All manner of things. You remember that Last Supper with Jesus Christ? When one of them betrayed. One of them was the Judas. But here it is when you guys knew who that Judas was. Y'all knew him. Y'all knew that cross. Y'all knew that he was going to betray, not the coalition, that he was going to betray the people of Guyana, that he was going to betray his country. Y'all knew that. But here what happened. Hear how silly these guys are. When they confronted that Judas, that snake, here is the question they asked him. Is it true? I'm sorry. This is not a comical situation. Here is what they asked him, the snake. Is it true that you will betray us when we go to Parliament? Is it true that you will vote against us in Parliament? So, wait a minute. Let's be smart about this. Do you guys expect the snake to say, yes, man, yes, when we go Parliament, I will vote against the coalition? Did they expect that? But they believed the snake. The snake said, nah, man, me would never do something like that. Me would never vote against the coalition. And they accepted that, even though the evidence was there. The snake sold out his car, he sold out this, he handed out his office to another a magistrate. He did every single thing. And he had his flight booked for hours after Parliament. And Ramjatan was then the Minister of Home Affairs. And he knew nothing about that? Now, I'm going to ask that question. He knew nothing about that? You are Minister of Home Affairs, and someone so close to you who claimed to have been selling cars, rip, and all manner of things, and you knew nothing about that? And when it was brought to your attention, what did you guys do? Huh? What did you guys do? Are you parade around the ground? Are you parade walking around? Walk around. Are you walk around, like a wedding? Are you walk around the bamboo? Or wherever in church around the priest and so forth, the altar, are you walk around? Right, Ramjatan? Are you walk around? And why you sing? Beer wedding house song. Awa biga do it a chamarke by. Awa biga do it he na fit fi go in the market, much less to what? To marry to him. Right? You know that song, Kemraj? Anyway, sorry about that. It is Saturday evening, right? But Kemraj is now back as leader of the AFC. I don't know what to say about that, but I'm just going to say that I am not impressed. I'm no longer impressed with the style of leadership of the AFC. I am of the view that the AFC is not offering the sort of leadership that they promised the people. They're just not. They're just not representing the people. And I can't sit here and pretend as though they are representing the people and all these manner of things. They're just not. And I'm of the view that they've gotten so tired now. You think Ramjatan want drive to go back Blackbush Pola steady to represent the people, or to go Essequibo, take a speedboat and go Essequibo and all these places? You think so? No. Now, let me say congratulations, yes, to Sherrod Duncan, a young man, vibrant on Facebook. But Sherrod got to be vibrant on the ground, because that's where it matters. Sherrod is now the General Secretary of the Alliance for Change. Mind you, that's not a surprise. You've got to be able to read these people carefully. It is not a surprise at all, right? But I do hope that Sherrod Duncan will get off of Facebook. Facebook is good. Don't run away from Facebook. He's doing a darn good job in terms of tantalizing Tanti Moral and them, right? Tickling Tanti Moral and them. Sherrod is doing a good job tickling them, winding them up, and so forth and so on. But what Sherrod has to do is to come off there as well and go on the ground and tickle them more. Take a feather and tickle them. Tickle them, Sherrod. Go around all over the country with your bell. Carry Francine with you. Ring the bell all over. Ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Make nice in the ears, right? All over as General Secretary of the Alliance for Change. And then bring back some vibrancy in the AFC. They have lost it. It's gone. Don't let them fool you guys. It's gone. Now, having said all of that, they've re-elected almost everyone. Almost everyone. But they got to go out there. They got to go out. I don't know. Hazel is saying she never liked the AFC. Hazel. Then I heard Kemraj address persons of African descent as black people. Black people? I mean, as a political leader, you've got to be politically correct, and you've got to you got to stop these sort of things of black people, right? Black people. Kemraj is darker than me. Kemraj is a black man. Look at my complexion compared to Kemraj's complexion, and Kemraj is addressing people as black people. You've just been re-elected as leader of the AFC. You're talking about national unity, but here it is, you're addressing people as black people. Black people. Kemraj is a Madras. Black. Kemraj is a black man. The correct thing, Mr. Ramjatan, is to say people of African descent. If you can say Indians, you can say Chinese, you can say Portuguese and so forth. Oh man. What makes you think that it is acceptable for you to say black people? Are you blacker than tar? Black people. Black people. Not for them, black. Are black people themselves. I don't know. I can't sit next to somebody and they say black people. Desiree Simons is saying Ramjatan needed a dressing down. I guess it's case of better the devil you know than the one you don't know. What a choice. Me, you want no devil that I know, and I want no devil that I don't know at all. All I'm saying is that the AFC got to do more. That's all I'm saying. They got to do more. I ain't able with this thing anymore. Like he is so such a fed up. I know a lot of people are fed up also. They're fed up. They're fed up, man. Get off of your high horses. Go out there and represent the people. Represent the people. And then we're going to say kudos to you guys. But you can't expect that you're not representing the people and then expect that people are going to say kudos to you. Not me. Not me. And I'm not throwing tantrums and thing. I'm giving you a comprehensive political breakdown of things, without any high wine or anything. But then again, I'm not into high wine and those things and knocking Guinness, and I'm talking without any other thing in my head. Right? All right, Desiree. So we get your point. Let's see what Savitri Rose is saying here. Savitri, good evening to you. True Mark is what they have in them inside. They can't help themselves. I got you, Savitri. But I take umbrage to any political leader who is addressing other folks correctly, but feel that it is comfortable to say black people, black people. Oh, gosh. All right, so let's see what else is going to happen with them, the AFC. I have lost confidence in them, I'll be honest with you. I respect the individuals, them who are part of, the AFC, but the AFC got to stop pretending as though they are a strong third force. They're no longer a strong third force at all. If you leave the AFC out on its own, they can't make it. They just can't make it at all. They just can't make it. Politically speaking, that is. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back because I want to continue talking with you guys a little more. It's 37 minutes after 9 o'clock. We'll be right back.
Hey, Guyanese, hey, what make we so stupid? I wonder. Guyanese like myself, yes. Why we so foolish? And I want to tell you. Imagine we put the leaders there in the government and gone we back from them like we don't care how taxpayers' money spent. With all the corruption that taking place, we is the ones we blame. While them are thief. We just sit down like if we lame. But this God don't sleep. No, he don't sleep. By the time I done sing me kai so, I know you're gonna agree with me that he don't sleep. Jehovah not sleep. One day the same bad seed that them sow, it's that they're gonna reap. Under this party, politicians thieving at will. Under this party, Them not care to do it still under this party. All the big contract.
All right, welcome back to Straight Up. It's a Saturday night special, as we would say, a Saturday night special. I'm looking as to what is on your mind. I know some of you guys complain that I should go full screen, right? Full screen. Well, I guess I'll go full screen again, right? Just to satisfy all of you. Renee Mackenzie Talbot is saying, Jacqueline McKinnon, as a politician, you use diplomatic language, not your regular street terminology. You're correct. Diplomatic language. You do that, man. You got to stop referring about black people. Black people. Since when black people is a race? Black people is a race? If black people are a race, then Ramjatan is part of that race too. And all the other folks complexion like Ramjatan are black people too. Ramjatan is a black man. Good evening to Ramjatan. If he's somebody's asking here what has happened to Miss Sarabu's party. What y'all expect to happen to her party? Sarabu's party is not a real political party. It's just a quick get together, sign up something quick on paper, and that's it. So it's not really a real party. All right. So let me don't even ask about that. It's not a real party. It's just a paper thing. It's just a paper thing, really. Right? So it's just a paper thing. All right. So let's see here. A guy got killed. Where is it? Where this happened? A youngster got killed by the police. The police, somewhere on the east coast of Demerara, the police is alleging that the guy pulled a gun. We've heard that story umpteen times. Umpteen times we've heard that story. The guy pulled a gun. And so they opened fire on the guy. They expect story to done just like that. Remind me where this matter happened, somewhere up on the east coast of Demerara. Then there was another matter somewhere out in Sophia, right? So the police shot and killed this youngster. They're now claiming, mind you, they're claiming that he opened fire at them. And then we have the newspapers, they're actually saying that, here is what the Stabrook News is saying. Youth dies after shootout. Haslington, thank you, Miss Rose. Youth dies after shootout. They don't have the shootout in quotation mark. Youth dies after shootout with undercover cop. Haslington indeed. Was trying to sell gun, police force says. Was trying to sell gun. I don't know. I am telling you guys this. I've been around these sort of things for a while. I've been on a lot of cases like this. And I'm going to say to you guys that I do not believe the version, the police version. They're saying you died Friday afternoon after a reported shootout with a rank. The headline doesn't say reported shootout. The headline says shootout, as though they know that for a fact. So they ran with the police version of a shootout and not alleged shootout. Now, the dead man was identified as 23-year-old Quindon Bacchus of Golden Grove, East Coast, Demerara, who was shot dead at the Haslington New Scheme, also on the East Coast of Demerara. The police reported that minutes earlier, Bacchus, said to be a gold miner, had been in the process of selling a gun to the plainclothes lawman. Now, look. I've been through a lot of these cases. And I'm telling you that something is fishy about this one. I've done a heck of a lot of police investigations as well, not just study and so forth. A lot underground, and this is wrong. Let us take it from this angle. that an undercover policeman, this gold miner, is going to take that chance to sell a small gun, a little gun, to an undercover policeman. First of all, I want to find out this. On whose behalf was this so-called undercover policeman working? Was it a sting operation? Or was this so-called undercover cop was working on his own behalf, trying to do some other deal or something like that, that this guy, this youngster, is going to just decide to sell a gun to an undercover police officer. And that undercover police officer just probably turned up by himself or whatever. Something, again, is fishy about this story. It is not adding up. And the family members of these folks need justice, because Guyana is getting back to where it used to be. Hazel Austin and others, you are there on the ground. You know these things, my friend, and others also. You guys who are there on the ground, you guys faced bullets, pellet bullets, and all manner of things, police brutality, beaten up, locked up, all manner of things. We have been there, done that. And now to hear this Jim Cock bring Ramgoat story, that there was this alleged sale from a gold miner. Why would a gold miner want to sell a little gun like this to an undercover police officer who just hopped onto the village just like that? And he just decided that he's going to sell this gun to this undercover police officer. It's not adding up. Who are these guys in the police force want to fool? They're not fooling me. And I know lots of you they're not fooling. You know, if I had my way, but I don't, mind you. If I had my way, that village would have been shut down. The road would have been shut down, because enough is enough. But I don't have my way. I'm not the one that you guys put in there expecting a challenge to these sort of things, not sleeping on the wheel. You know what I mean? You guys expect a real challenge, people to stand up and represent the interest of individuals who are in need of justice. But everything just quiet down. Everything seemed to be hunky-dory. And everybody's back to their normal job, their normal activities, as though nothing has happened. Maybe because Mr. Bacchus doesn't have friends in high places, and therefore, to hell with what has happened to him. Right? But you let one of these individuals in the coalition, MP, or even the leader of the opposition, you let anything happen to them, or an arrest or something, you must so quick. 10, 15 persons, 20 persons, and things gonna go out, and y'all come out, y'all come out, y'all come out. But all the injustices, nobody's calling on people to come out. People are afraid to stand up for the rights of others. They're afraid to speak out against injustices. And I'm talking about people who are elected officials, people who are being paid to do that. Francine Cruz, $250 something or $300,000 a month is a heck of a lot of money, Francine Cruz. Duty-free concessions, Francine Cruz, is a heck of a lot of things. But the only form of representation we get from these folks in the opposition is when they come on social media, they turn on the camera and they talk. Nice fancy talk. Oh, and we this, oh, and this, and oh, and that, and oh, do you know this? And hey, do you know that? That's all they do. And they expect us to run up and grab them and hug them and pat them on the back and say, great job. We love you guys. But when we don't do that, they get upset, their bumps raise, and all manner of things. They get vexed, they screw up their face, they don't call you, they don't talk to you, they stop talk to you, all manner of things. Francine, they stop talk to you. They vex with you. They carry out vindictive sort of attitude against you. Vendetta, they hold it close to their bosom. Oh, I don't like Mark. I don't like this person because this person is now all manner of things. They vex. They vex with you. Bad, 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 bad. Because all they want you to do is to talk nice things about them. Nice things, that's all. So they're in this politics for niceness. They're not in the politics to take off their gloves, take off their boots, take off whatever, and go on the ground and represent the people. That is what politics is about, all about. That is the form of representation that the people are looking for. And so it is sad. I noticed that, yeah, they might get a couple of lawyers jump on and issue a couple of statements and this. But that's not, it has to stop. The police going around Wild West trigger happy, opening pressing the trigger on the youths them in the country, and they're gunning the youths them down. And if this doesn't stop now, it is going to get out of hand. And not even Ramjatan and all of his talk could do anything. Do you see the AFC on the ground when these youths are being killed? Do you see them? Do you see Ramjatan in those areas? Do you see these folks in the AFC? They're not. They believe they're high up there kind of politicians. Most of them come from tenement yard and back house and third house till down at the back of the alley and all these are. So they're not highfalutin people. They're not this big shot kind of people. They grew up with flambeau lamp, kerosene lamp, fireside. So they weren't born with like a silver spoon in their mouth that all of a sudden they become so big. Some of them probably don't even want to walk and mash fowl dung anymore. They don't even want to hear a donkey bray. Then again, we hear a lot of that in Parliament these days, right? Yeah, I don't know. Sad case. So this youth, this youngster, shoot out with undercover. So tell me something. This is how this thing happened, right? This young man got a little gun and decided, according to the police, and that he wants to sell this gun. So here it is that you have this gun, and you're going to sell this gun allegedly to an undercover guy, right? This undercover guy, this undercover guy. We see some trench crappos here. We don't, this is one show. I'll tell you guys this off the bat. We do not encourage trench crappos. The trench crappos come here because, for one thing, distraction. We dash them in the trench. Quick. So anyways, this guy now on this gun, he's going to go sit down and negotiate with this undercover guy, policeman, right? And somewhere along the line, during the deal, this deal is supposed to be going sweet. And all of a sudden, like, this gold miner, this youngster, take back his gun and open fire on the police like that. Just like that. Hey, man. Something isn't adding up. We're not dotish people. We didn't attend the University of IFLAT. We didn't. We're smarter than that. We don't talk with high wine, right? We don't. High wine get their people. You know what I mean, right? Good. We don't do that. And that is why I'm saying that we cannot depend on the police to launch an investigation on this at all. We just cannot, right? So I don't know if the leader of the opposition, Mr. Aubrey Compton Norton, has visited the family members. I don't know what is going on, but we need boots on the ground. Too many of these youths, these young persons, young people, mainly of African descent, but like Ramjatan would say, black people are being gunned down, and no leadership to stand up and stop it by every and any legal means necessary. it would appear that our leaders in the opposition across the board are afraid to stand up and confront the PPP regime against these sort of injustices happening again under the PPP regime. Bad political representation. It has got to stop. And our leaders in the coalition have got to get their acts together. They've got to wake up. They've got to smell the coffee, or otherwise the people will turn against them. I'm beginning to see their own people who fought for them. It's not a one-man thing that a one man could feel responsible to put this. You got to get sense to be responsible to put people in these sort of things, right? But it was collective. It was a collective effort where the PNCR, think about what sort of allegations and this and internal PNC politics. I'm not going to get in that. Aubrey Norton was elected simply because supporters felt that he was the man for the job, that he would stand up and he would stand up to Jack Dale, he would stand up to Air Finale, he would stand up to the PPP, and he gonna deal with them, and he gonna this, and Ben Chap, rest yourself, Ben Chap, why you this, Ben Chap this, fighting. You know, I'm surprised that I'm still alive today with some of those folks who were coming after me, man. You know, Ben suppress yourself. All kind of thing. They had high wine bottle in the hand. They had bush rum. And you know, some of these people, when they drink and they get drunk, right? You see the reflection when they go on Facebook to talk. It's mere dotishness, they say, right? All these manner of things. Oh, we can destroy you, Ben Chapel. Oh, gosh. Like I was afraid. I was afraid, right? You know, less than 6 months after now, like all of them turn against poor Aubrey now. All of them hunting Aubrey down. All of them. Some of them are watching this program here tonight. All of them trying to bully poor Aubrey. They want to bully the leader of the opposition. They want to bully the man. They want to bully the man. Huh? Huh? Aubrey, good evening to you. The leader of the opposition needs a lot of help, lots of help. And I do. Otto Martin seem to be hunting too. Everybody hunting, right? Everybody hunting. All of them become a hunter now. Right, Otto? Everybody become a hunter, right? Sorry about that, guys. You know it's Saturday and Emma wants her dad, right? It's a sign that I got 4 or 5 minutes more remaining on this show. Emma wants her dad, right? But I'll spend some more time with you guys. Rhonda Lane, good evening to you. Then I'm still. Even Rhonda and all, can't say nothing but her comrade Aubrey. You know, Rhonda, this is not laughing or anything, you know. People want the leader of the opposition to succeed. People want the leader of the opposition to do better, right? And I'm not going to join with the others who were on Aubrey's side, his camp, and now all of a sudden they throw Aubrey under the bus, some of them for personal reason and all manner. They just dash the man under the bus, just pick up the man and just dash you under the bus. I'm done with you. Those are dangerous people. Dangerous people who could just give up on you just 3 months, 4 months after they just dash poor Aubrey in the trench. Dashy just like that. It's called emotional politicking. It's called throwing tantrums. And people who throw tantrums are not trustworthy people. You throw tantrums just like that, they dash poor Aubrey in the trench. Done with he. Waiting for some other bandwagon to jump on. And when you don't get away, like you dash the other person in the trench too. But I'll tell you guys this. I want you guys to read my lips. Aubrey and I do not see eye to eye on every issue. A lot of people don't see eye to eye on every issue. That's understandable. I'm going to say this to you guys here tonight. I may have personal views again about some folks, some politicians, that I discuss privately I'm not the type of individual, because those type, they get their own type of people, right? Would love to take private discussion into public domain. I don't do that. I may have my private views on individuals. It remains private. But when it comes to joining individuals, scatterhead individuals, and throwing Aubrey Norton under the bush or under the bus, I am not prepared to do that at all. I am not prepared, and I will not throw Aubrey under the bus just like that to satisfy anybody's ego. I think Aubrey has been doing a lot of that on his own. Aubrey throwing himself under the bus, all by himself. But the leader of the opposition has to pull back in. He has to do some serious introspection. Serious introspection. Somebody's asking about Van West Charles. Ian Williams will say, Mark, Mr. Van West Charles, he was going to support whoever become the leader of the opposition. Where is he now? Good question, Ian. But here is my response to you, sir. Van West Charles actually was the what is it, advisor to Mr. Aubrey Norton, and it was done shabbily. It was done shabbily. You do not just wake up one day and say, I'm going to make Mark an advisor to me, or I'm going to make Charlene Luce Tinder or Ian Williams. You first sit down and you discuss with the individuals that, look, this is what I want you to do. Beatrice Simon, I want you to be PR. Alison Richards, I want you to do X, Y, and Z. You discuss first. You don't let individual just read it in the papers or in the media that you are an advisor to something. It doesn't work like that. And so that relationship was bound to fail. Politically speaking, that is, because you could tell that Van West Charles, Dr. Van West Charles, and Aubrey are on opposite sides, so to speak, in terms of the vision. But nothing is wrong in putting some things aside and compromise. But it was bound to fail because Aubrey, apparently, I don't know whether his intention was sincere to have Van West Charles as his advisor. And I don't know whether Van West really wanted to advise Aubrey. But I get the impression that Van West was willing to advise Aubrey. But Aubrey Norton suddenly got up and said that Van West Charles wants to be the middleman, tell him, or the middleman for the PPP and all manner of dotishness. And Van West Charles got personal issues. And I mean, we don't want to hear that publicly, man. So I was a bit disappointed about that. And so in answering your question, Mr. Williams, as we put it back up here, that Van West Charles disappeared for good reason. I hope he can reappear because the leader of the opposition needs a heck of a lot of help. And that help cannot come from only certain individuals who basically can only take him to this level. You know, they get different levels, call for different people. And all need to get that chance to play a part, including the union leaders, including everybody. You can't want to isolate people and then expect to succeed. No leader can succeed if he or she believes in isolation and those sort of things. No leader can succeed if they're not willing to compromise. No leader can succeed if he or she believes they know it all. No leader can succeed if they don't have at least a little percentage of charisma, an appreciation for things, a little thank you, and all these manner of things. No leader can succeed without that. This is 2022 we're talking about. It's time that the leader of the opposition regroup, get sensible people on board, regroup, and come again. People cannot just jump. As the saying goes, come on board, just come and help. People are not going to do that unless they feel welcome, unless they are asked to come and assist. So don't tell me that let people come on board and people could go. Done with that nonsense. Done with that nonsense. I notice Afras Osman, good evening to you, sir, is saying, you there online since March 2020 like me and giving up now? I did. I don't know who Afras is talking to, but good evening to you, Afras. Good evening to you. Good evening to you. Ricardo Charles, let's see what Ricardo Charles is saying. Mark, you know that many times you alone stand on the picket line representing people that are not standing up for themselves. That is true. That is true, Ricardo. Lots and lots of time. And even the times when I was joined by others who now turned, and the people like the Freddie Kissoon and so forth, turned against, they're the one that joined. They came and joined us. We stood up. We represented folks like Freddie Kissoon, who was afraid of the PPP and all these manner of things. All these manner of things. Who couldn't stand up and represent himself? We're not talking about just writing in the paper. We're talking about the battle was on the ground, on the field, in the lockups and all these manner of things. So don't listen to dotish people with dotish agenda. I know you guys are smarter than that, right? Way smarter than that. Way smarter than that. Let me see a response back from Mr. Eon Williams. Say, Mark, I am positive Mr. Norton would give support Mr. Van Charles if he was elected. That's besides the point, Eon Williams, my friend. That's besides the point. That is besides the point. You can't expect people, you can't walk into people's house and want to dictate. They got to first invite you and invite you in a proper way. Suppose now you open your door and you tell somebody, hey, come if you want, come, man. They get a little food if you want to eat. How would you feel? Would you go and eat? No, it has to be done better. And that's all I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. That's all that I am saying. We all can play a part, but we got to feel as though we're wanted. We're all playing a part. Don't you think on this show we play our part? We play our part. We don't cuss out. We offer constructive criticism. There's a difference in cussing out or drinking high wine and throwing people under the bus. There's a difference. We don't throw tantrums here. We don't dash people under the bus just like that. We don't. We're not all over the place going in circles and this and that and based on how you get up one morning, how you feel and all. We don't do that. Those things get their own people who do that. Meow. Right? We don't do that here. If you guys give up now, I don't know whether Mr. Aubrey Norton is going to be the presidential candidate next go round. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be the presidential candidate. But if he is going to be, or if he wants to be the presidential candidate, Mr. Aubrey Norton has to do a lot more to create that image, that presidential-like image. Well, I know some of you say if Irfan Ali could become president, anybody could be. Well, let's not measure that on Irfan, who was installed, right? People on the ground are fed up of the quality of leadership they're getting. They expected better. Are they getting better? No. Is there anything close to that? No. I don't want some of you guys to come and question. This is not a hatred for Aubrey. I've known Aubrey over the years. We don't see eye to eye on everything, but I'm sure there are some things that we agree on. We communicate. We talk. So there's no hatred there at all. some folks during the what is it, the Congress, oh, Mark hate Aubrey, Mark this, Mark all manner of things. And they jump and they put themselves up there as though they're all solely responsible for Aubrey, and Aubrey is the quality of leader, that Aubrey is a good man, Aubrey will fight and all, and moments later, Aubrey's at this and Aubrey's at that, and the confusion starts, scatter heads, scatter brains. Be careful with those kinds of people. Be careful. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. Be careful with people who are just out for the attention and who don't like me and who like me and who do this and who don't do that. Oh, even those days when we used to play Dolly House, that was never an issue. We got along in Dolly House and we were little kids. But to see big men cry and go on and, oh gosh, I wouldn't like to pull around by the cathedral and see them there. Me picking them up. I drive away, speed, screams. I gone me way. Right, Francine? I gone me way. So I think looking at and reading some of your comments, we want to wish them the best, the opposition folks. We want to wish the AFC the best. We're not dashing them under the bus either. But they got to prove themselves, man. They got to prove themselves. They got to be far more aggressive. They got to be far more aggressive. And when I say aggressive, I don't mean like, like blocking up things, but go on the ground and represent the people. You got to do that. And you got to bear your chief. You can't just want, support somebody today and then break them down tomorrow. You can't do that. No matter how much high wine you drink, control yourself. Control yourself. Control your emotions. Control your hormones. Control yourself. Gosh, I've got to go, man. I've got to go. But you see, I give you guys 1+ hours, right? Let me see what Francine's saying here again. Francine said, on time for wishing, it's time for action. Change must come. Francine is ending on a good note. Thank you, Francine. Thank you. Aliyah, yes, DJ Magnum said to bear your chief. Don't be beggy and licky. Don't be beggy and licky. Enough of them beggy. Enough of them licky. Right? Enough of them beggy. Enough of them licky. They can't bear the chip. They cry. They do all manner of things. And these are the kind of people that drink their little high wine, and I'm sure that we be up the skin and all kind. They can't bear the chief in politics. If you can't bear your chief, get out of the kitchen. And I say kitchen, no pun intended. On kitchen, if you know what I mean, right? So DJ Magnum was on point. DJ Magnum is on point. All right. I hope the opposition leader is listening or watching. I don't know. Continue to pray for him. And I do mean it. No one wants to see him destroy himself or whatever, because what else is there to turn to? If we don't criticize constructively, not dotishly, mind you, constructive criticism, that's what we do here, not dotish tantrums, right? You know what I mean, guys? Not dotish tantrums. And I hope Mr. Aubrey Norton will take these constructive criticisms, because we all want to see him succeed. You know who don't want to see him succeed. You know who the fake ones are, pretend as though they love him, and all manner of things. And a short while later, dash him under the bus, call him all sort of names publicly and all manner of things. Be careful with those sort of people. Be careful with them. I've got to go until Monday or maybe tomorrow. You never know. Remember that that Vice News report is coming out on the 19th, right? Can't wait for it. We all can't wait for it, right? We all can't wait for it. All right. Have a good rest of the evening. God bless you, and God bless our beautiful country. But again, pray for Aubrey Norton. Pray for him. Pray for him. He needs all the prayers, and I do mean it. So long.
Hey, Guyanese. Hey, what make we so stupid? I wonder. Guyanese like myself. Yes. Why we so foolish? And I want to tell you. Imagine we put the leaders there in the government and turn we back from them like we don't care how taxpayers' money spent. With all the corruption that taking place, we is the ones we blame. While them are thief. We just sit down like if we lame. But this God don't sleep. No, he don't sleep. By the time I done sing make I so, I know you're gonna agree with me that he don't sleep. Jehovah not sleep. One day the same bad seed that them sow, it's that they gonna reap. Under this party, politicians thieving at will. Under this party, them not care, they're doing it still. Under this party, all the big contracts are go to them friend. Under this party, them forgetting the longest rope of an end. But if we the people can come together and stand up for what is right, put aside we indifference and start unite. Politicians would know them damn place and work with honesty. Then boom, Guyana would rise and have a vibrant economy. Ding dang, diddy do dang dunga day. Whoa, dee da ding ding diddy do dang dunga day. Whoa, Guyanese, open your eyes. Yes, Guyanese like myself. Hey, it's time we get wise. Imagine we finance minister, auditor is the wife. It's like putting cat for watch milk. How could that? Hey. Hey, Guyanese. Hey, what make we so stupid? I wonder. Guyanese like myself. Yes. Why we so foolish?